Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of FPL. I hope everyone is doing well this week and your teams all did well. Another great week for me, 115 points in the end with my triple captainship used. I've gone from 44,000th in the world to 9,000th in the world. I've hit the top 10k, 14,000 points overall. So first of all, my transfers made. I took out De Bruyne for Bruno, who had a double game week. That gave me 11 points. De Bruyne didn't start. So came on for 1 point, and Bruno Fernandes got 12 points in the end, scoring against Palace, not against Leeds unfortunately, but 12 points, can't ask for much more. Marcus Rashford, triple captain, it was brilliant. Even if you had him, 20 points, captain 40, triple captain 60 points. That is amazing. You can't ask for much more out of triple captain for that. Once again, the stars of the week, Kepa on 10 points again, played the first game, clean sheet, 3 bonus, brilliant. And Mitoma in midfield again on 11 points. It's phenomenal. A goal and three bonus points. Harry Kane also up there, a goal and 2 bonus points. Now apart from that, Newcastle they conceded, Arsenal conceded, Martinelli got a point, came off, Tony got booked, Haaland not doing as usual unfortunately this week, but I wouldn't panic. He'll definitely be back at it soon. Bench wasn't quite arranged perfectly this week. Almiron and Botman could have been on for Martinelli and Tony, but well, I suppose Martinelli and Almiron I was thinking about, but that was a tough decision in the end. Moving on now, I've got a list of the top scorers from this week. So Rashford obviously top on 20 points, 7.2 million. He's already in my team. If he's not in your team, you need him in. He's on brilliant form, probably better form than Haaland at the moment, I would say. He's scoring constantly. Definitely one of the best FPL assets at the moment. Second top of the list is Iniacho for Leicester. Now Leicester haven't been brilliant, and this isn't exactly a player that would be on my radar. But when he's playing, he's scoring. He scored in the FA Cup just a week ago or a couple weeks ago as well, and 15 points this week. You know, he could be an idea, but I definitely hold off for the now. Tarkowski, also getting 15 points at 4.2 million. Yes, he's on my radar. Sean Dyche coming into Everton. They'll become a lot more defensive, and he could be a very, very good asset for the upcoming weeks. Ben Mee on 13 points. A lot of people own him. That hurt my rank a lot. So he's on my radar as well. Brentford have got a decently solid defence. And 13 points. He scored a goal. 4.9 million. Cheap asset. Very good. Fifth on the list, Bruno Fernandes, 12 points. Brilliant. 9.9 million. So he's quite an awkward price because there's not really many. There's not too many above him, but it's quite a gap from like say Rashford or Odegaard to jump to Fernandes. He's already in my team, and I would certainly look at him if you don't already have him. But I presume if you don't already have him, you'll probably have De Bruyne, or maybe Salah. But De Bruyne for this week, obviously, you're going to want to keep him for his double. Dawson coming in at 12 as well. Another clean sheet for West Ham. Oh, look at me, I've been silly. Dawson plays for Wolves now, obviously, and he scored. I got a clean sheet. He's on my radar as well. I think it'll be Kilman more instead of Dawson. That Wolves defence seems to be cleaning itself up, and they've got some very, very nice fixtures coming up. 4.8 million could be a bargain. And Bumo, again, he was the man to get this week, not Tony. A bit annoying, but that's alright. He's been alright recently, but I don't think he's on my radar quite. Nonto, 11 points. 5 million, yes, he's on my radar. Cheap striker, scoring goals. What more do you want? Kilman, yeah, I think Kilman will be better than Dawson in the upcoming weeks, just because Kilman has more of an attacking threat playing at fullback. I don't even know they might actually play wing backs. I'm not sure they play a back three. Henry, I'm not entirely sure, from Brentford, a fullback, 11 points as well. He's not on my radar as such, but he could be a good alternative to me if you don't quite have enough money. And Kepa, obviously already in my team, what a star he's been. I would highly recommend him. Looking ahead now to double game week 23. Now Arsenal and City are the two teams doubling this week. City have an away fixture against Arsenal, and also a home fixture against Villa. Now that home fixture against Villa isn't, I don't think, as easy as it looks. Right there, Villa have cleaned up quite a bit since the restart and have been a lot more defensively sound. I still expect City to win and win by a couple, but I don't think it'll be quite a walkover as you may expect. And that Arsenal game, I don't think City will win it. You never know, but I think Arsenal are just on too good form at the moment. As for Arsenal, they've got a home game against Brentford, which I expect to be a few goals. Not too many again, 1 or 2 I would say, but definitely Odegaard, Saka, and Nketiah, maybe even Martinelli. Definitely good ideas. and then that game against City, it could be tight. I think it'll either be like a 0-0 or a 1-0, or it'll be like a 3-all or something. There'll be lots of goals, or there'll be very little goals. As for other games to target this week, Brighton are against Crystal Palace, so Matoma is on fire at the moment. Him, maybe even March. Now, Forest Fulham, I'm just noticing that there. Brennan Johnson could be a good idea. He's out of my Friday Focus on my Instagram if you want to check it out. It'll be out later tonight. Spurs, Leicester. Now, Harry Kane, he's scored 18 goals in 14 games against Leicester, which is a phenomenal record. So, if you don't want to go for a double game week captain, which I think is kind of silly, but if you don't, he's top of the list, 100%. Wolves, Southampton, Wolves boys could do well there. Newcastle, Bournemouth again. Hopefully another Newcastle clean sheet after a slight blip last week. And then apart from that, Liverpool, Everton, that'll be an interesting game. If Everton keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, I reckon their defence could be ready to bring in. But we'll really see there how badly Liverpool are doing at the moment. Okay, now here are Man City assets for this week for their double game week. Now, as I've already said, they've got Villa at home and Arsenal away as their 2 games. Now, obviously, there's Haaland, 25 goals, 1 more bonus point, and 3 assists. But you're not really getting him for his assists. I'm pretty sure everyone that will watch this will already have Haaland in their team. But of course, if you don't, get him in. Especially for the double, you want him. And there's Mahrez. Mahrez is a little bit cheaper than say De Bruyne. And he's scored quite a few since the restart, so I reckon he could be a nice asset to have for this week. I personally would go for Arsenal boys over him, but he could be if you're going for a City midfielder, he's probably the best option. Now, Akanji, I realise I haven't changed that graphic. He's definitely not 9.9 million. I'm pretty sure he's mid 4 million, maybe low 5 million. A nice cheap defender. And he's getting minutes. That's the important thing. That City defence the City team in general, rotates so much. But Akanji has played mostly every single minute so far since the restart. Not quite every minute, but he's been most consistent. There's my City assets for this week. Okay, moving on to the Arsenal assets this week. Now, this could be a slide full of Arsenal players. I've just picked 3 that I like the most. But of course, apart from these 3, you've got Nketiah, you've got Martinelli, who has dried up a little bit, but he's definitely a good shout. And then as for Saliba, that can be any of the defenders. They're all brilliant choices. Now, first of all on this list is Saka. Saka has been doing pretty well recently. The only thing putting most people off is his price. He's about 1 million to 2 million more than all the other Arsenal midfielders. And to be fair, he's not scoring that much more, or actually sometimes less than Odegaard and, not really Martinelli at the moment, but yeah. So he's got 7 goals, 8 assists, 9 bonus. Very good. Odegaard, he's been doing as good, if not even better, recently. 8 goals so far, 6 assists, 18 bonus. He's got a lot higher ownership, but he's also a lot less in price. I think I'm going to move Martinelli to Odegaard this week, even if it means a hit. I just think Martinelli's minutes will be managed too much, and Odegaard is just better value. Now Saliba, he's my defender. I've had him since day 1. He's scored 2 goals, he's had an assist, a lot of bonus, and 9 clean sheets. That's a good number of clean sheets. But he can be Gabriel, White even, although White is rotation risk kind of. Zinchenko maybe, but any of the Arsenal defenders. Some people won't go for Arsenal defenders, and instead they'll go Odegaard, Saka, and Nketiah. I would say Nketiah probably should be on this 3. But I thought I'd just talk about it myself. Nketiah is scoring a lot since the restart. The only issue with being with Nketiah is Jesus is due back over the next couple of weeks. So from there, Nketiah's minutes will be managed. But I personally will move Tony to Nketiah this week and have Nketiah just for the double, and then maybe a couple of weeks after before Jesus gets back, and then I will look elsewhere, maybe to Mitrovic or maybe back to Tony. Okay, and finally my team reveal for this week. So the possibility, I've not made the transfers, but what will probably happen is Tony will get moved to Nketiah, and then Martinelli to Odegaard. Now I realise again I've not changed that graphic, not doing very well this week. Hits taken, that would be for a -4 this week. Martinelli to Odegaard, I'm still stuck on, because I just feel, is it worth moving a double game week player to another double game week player? I'm not sure, but Martinelli's just not doing very well at the moment. He's getting 1 point week in, week out because he's getting taken off too early. And Odegaard isn't. Odegaard's doing pretty well at the moment. So I think that will happen, but that's just I'll keep your eyes on my Instagram for final updates. So as possibilities, it says there, keep Arsenal. Kate Martinelli, sorry. I'll sort of decide that. Now, captaincy. This week, the graphic currently says I'm going to captain Haaland, and I probably will. I would expect I will. And he'll be the main choice this week, I would say, just because he's got a double game week. But really, Odegaard, Nketiah, Saka, all actually have probably better fixtures and probably better form than the Norwegian. It's just the fact that Haaland's captained by so many people. You want to keep that the ownership high. So yeah, Odegaard or Saka, that'll be a choice I have to make this week. I think, have enough money to go to Saka, but I think in the end I will just go to Odegaard. And then who to bench? Almiron. I still can't get rid of Almiron. I need to at some point, and he will go quite soon. I would expect for maybe a second Arsenal boy. I'll have a think about it. But this week against Bournemouth, like surely he'll score. Well, maybe, and maybe he's worth playing over maybe Bruno. But I'll still decide that. And as I say, I'll keep you posted on my Instagram. Cher also on my bench. Again, Bournemouth away. Should get a clean sheet, but they didn't get a clean sheet against West Ham, so they might not this week either. Apart from that, Kepa and goals obviously over Ward. I got the triple Man United of Shaw, Bruno, and Rashford, and then Mitoma also in midfield. Kane up top, as I said, he scored 18 goals in 14 games against Leicester, which is phenomenal. And you may see here that I've actually benched Kyle Walker, a double game week player, but I just don't feel he's worth it. I feel that Shaw should get a clean sheet against Leeds, which should be 6 points, and Trippier, let's be honest, probably will get a clean sheet against Bournemouth, which is another 6 points. And I feel Walker probably won't play one of those games, so there's 0, maybe 1 if he comes on. And then if he needs to play the other game, Villa and Arsenal, well, Arsenal especially are doing amazingly. They won't get a clean sheet against Arsenal, I doubt it highly. And Villa, they might not get a clean sheet either. So let's say he wasn't to play against Villa and he was to come on towards the end, that's 1 point. And then he was to play against Arsenal, 2 maybe, 1. Maybe if he does get a clean sheet, I might be wrong. But I think I'm going to bench Walker this week just because he's not getting as many minutes as I'd like. Right, well that's all for this week. Thank you for watching and good luck to everyone for this double game week.